Why don't you walk us through like the journey of going from an idea to a product rollout and take an actual example?
Perfect example. If we look about a new target segment, you know that today, and I will talk for private banking for as an example. Today, the relationship with the clients is only with the parents, but we can foresee that, and we see external studies showing that the next generation clients will not stick with the banks, but they will rather go into uh, this new crypto firm, or they will diversify their investment into this Web3 type of firm. And we can see it happening around right now. However, how the bank can still keep the relationship. So, as an example, design thinking can be used at the very early stage to identify what are the pain points today, what's working well, not working well, what are the opportunities, and start mapping journeys about the engagement, awareness. How do we engage this segment? How what is the relationship, and therefore how the loyalty can be built. So target journey, user journey mapping, and mapping all the touch points, I think, is critical, and this is where design thinking workshops are very useful. Size the opportunity. This is where we can bring some business model canvas in order to have a better clarity about, well, how do we want to engage this segment, and this is all about generating hypotheses, and it's a safe space to do it because it's design thinking, right? And it doesn't take a lot of time. And so generating business hypothesis, how do we engage this community, and how do we want to test it out? Then moving on, the prototyping. Design thinking enable anyone actually, because nowadays the tools are so easy to use, to prototype one hypothesis and get feedback, and therefore get feedback internally, externally, and then as a result, if the prototype is successful, then moving on the pilot. Pilot means testing at scale with a lightweight technology. So, for example, we use a progressive web app with a very light way of testing mobile applications. This is backed up by analytics tools in order to track the behavior online, and this is the lean execution behavior online from the target users adopting this mobile application, capturing their feedback online as well. And so having one-on-one interviews down the line in order to really understand, is this a success or not? How do we assess that this pilot is successful? It's by monitoring the success metrics that has been decided during the design thinking workshop uh, when defining the scope of the proof of concept. Then we get feedback. So traditionally, we do 3 months, 90 days to capture feedback during the pilot. And then moving on the agile execution, this is where what we use is the dual track roadmap. Dual track roadmap is actually the best way I found to embed, well, product design and agile. So this transition from proof of concept pilot to a full scale execution. Why is that? Is because we have one track of design, and the second track is the build. And so this is where incrementally the team is building more and more journeys going through the platform, but we continuously capture the feedback, and then we go back to the design, the drawing board, and this is where we take decision upon, well, we need to change a feature or not. How do we do that? We use the user story mapping, and this is how we prioritize the backlog for the next sprint. And we do it continuously. It's an ongoing process up to a point where we are scaling, and so there where we have less fundamental incremental changes, but then we have a mature agile delivery team.